Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, stick around, because today's topic might seriously save you time, energy, and emotional stress. Let me start with something important. Women might not always say exactly what they mean, but they always mean what they say. If you're not tuned in, you could end up walking straight into a situation that'll leave you confused, hurt, and drained. There are certain things a woman might say that should make your internal alarm go off instantly. And I'm not talking about small disagreements or different opinions. I'm talking about major red flags, the kind you can't afford to ignore. Too many men overlook these early warnings, hoping they're just misunderstandings or that things will change. Spoiler alert, they usually don't. When a woman says certain things, she's giving you insight into her mindset, how she thinks about relationships, and how she views you. And in today's dating world, that insight is more valuable than ever. The worst mistake you can make is pouring yourself into someone who doesn't truly respect or value you. That's why this video matters. I'm going to walk you through 5 key phrases that, if you ever hear them, should make you stop and think hard about whether she's the right person for you. Because what a woman says reveals who she is, and your job is to pay attention before it's too late. And just to be clear, this isn't about bashing women, it's about protecting yourself. Too many guys end up stuck in unhealthy relationships because they didn't recognize the warning signs. That stops today. Let's dive in. 1. We don't need to define this. When a woman says, "We don't need to define this," don't ignore it. That phrase might sound harmless, even cool, like she's going with the flow. But in reality, it's often a clear sign you're an option, not a priority. If she truly liked you and saw a future with you, she'd want clarity. She'd want to know where things are going, just like you do. Keeping things undefined benefits her. She gets all the perks of your time, attention, and loyalty without committing to anything herself. Meanwhile, you're left guessing, constantly wondering if she's serious about you. And as time passes, you become more emotionally invested while she keeps her distance, free to walk away at any time. Let's be honest. If you went to a job interview and the boss said, "We don't need to define your role, just show up," you'd walk out, right? Relationships are no different. Both people should be clear about intentions. If she avoids the "what are we" talk after months of dating, she's likely keeping her options open. The biggest mistake men make is sticking around, hoping things will naturally progress. They won't. If she's okay with ambiguity, it's because she doesn't see you as long-term material. You deserve more than being someone's emotional placeholder. So if you hear this phrase, be willing to walk away or at least take a big step back. Let her know you're looking for something real, and if she's not on the same page, that's your cue to move on. A woman who truly values you won't risk losing you to someone else. 2. Take me as I am. When a woman says, "Take me as I am," it may come off as confident, but often it's a smokescreen to avoid self-improvement or accountability. While it's great for someone to embrace who they are, using this phrase as a shield against growth is a red flag. Relationships require both people to evolve. No one is perfect, but a refusal to grow is a recipe for frustration and resentment. Let's say you bring up an issue. Maybe she interrupts you constantly or loses her temper over small things. Instead of hearing you out or reflecting on it, she shrugs and says, "That's just how I am." What that really means is, "I'm not willing to change, even if it hurts you." That's not confidence. That's emotional selfishness. Imagine the reverse. What if you dismissed her feelings every time by saying, "That's just who I am"? You'd be seen as inconsiderate or emotionally unavailable. So why should you tolerate that behavior? A mature woman doesn't hide behind a phrase. She acknowledges her flaws and works on them. True love isn't about putting up with someone's worst traits. It's about two people choosing to grow together. If your concerns are always met with "take it or leave it," it's time to choose the latter. You don't have to be with someone who refuses to meet you halfway. A relationship is a partnership. If one person expects all the grace and offers none in return, that imbalance will drain you. Look for a woman who says, "I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to work on it with you." That's the kind of person who builds, not breaks. 3. You're lucky to have me. At first, when a woman says, "You're lucky to have me," it might seem playful or even attractive. Confidence is good, but pay close attention to the tone and context. If she's constantly reminding you of her worth while never acknowledging yours, this is no longer confidence, it's entitlement. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual appreciation. You both should feel fortunate to have each other. But if one person believes they're the prize and you're just lucky to be there, you're heading for imbalance. In this dynamic, your needs often get pushed aside, and your worth becomes tied to how well you please her. That's a toxic mindset. This behavior often shows up in arguments. She might dismiss your opinions, make decisions without considering you, or expect constant validation without giving any back. Over time, you find yourself working harder and harder to keep her happy while she contributes less and less. You start walking on eggshells just to avoid conflict. The truth is, a woman who truly values you won't need to tell you that you're lucky to have her. She'll show it through her actions, by respecting your time, appreciating your effort, and making you feel seen. Likewise, you'll want to reciprocate that energy, not out of obligation, but because it's mutual. So when you hear, "You're lucky to have me," don't just smile and nod. Ask yourself, does she make you feel lucky, or does she act like she's doing you a favor? If it's the latter, you're being undervalued. Confidence is powerful, but love shouldn't feel like a competition. It should feel like a team effort. If she's not willing to see you as an equal partner, then maybe she's not as much of a prize as she thinks. 4. All my exes were the problem. When a woman says, "All my exes were the problem," your alarm bells should start ringing. It might sound like she just had bad luck in love, but if every guy she's dated was toxic, crazy, or immature, then chances are the issue wasn't just them. The common denominator is her. In any failed relationship, both people usually share some responsibility. Of course, some breakups are the result of serious mistreatment, but if she has nothing but horror stories and never once reflects on her own role, that's a problem. It shows a lack of self-awareness, maturity, and accountability. The danger for you is getting drawn into the savior role. You think, she just needs someone who'll treat her right. But trust me, if she hasn't learned from her past, she's not going to treat you any better. You'll just become the next chapter in her blame story. Eventually, when challenges arise, and they will, you'll be the one getting blamed. She won't be interested in working through problems together. She'll be too busy defending her ego. Worse yet, she might run to her friends or social media saying, "You're just like the rest." You deserve a partner who owns her past and learns from it. A woman who can say, "I made some mistakes too, and here's what I learned," is far more prepared for a real relationship. That's someone who can grow with you, not against you. So don't be fooled by a long list of terrible exes. If she's always the victim, you're being set up to become the villain. Look for emotional maturity, not just a clean slate, but a woman who's done the inner work to be a better partner now. 5. If you loved me, you would. Few phrases are more dangerous in a relationship than "if you loved me, you would." It's not just a sentence, it's a weapon. It turns love into a test you can never fully pass. At first it may seem small. "If you loved me, you'd cancel your plans tonight." Then it becomes, "If you loved me, you'd stop hanging out with your friends." Over time, you find yourself compromising your values, boundaries, and identity, not out of love, but out of guilt. This phrase is emotional manipulation dressed up as romance. It pressures you to prove your love over and over again, while she gains control without ever having to say, "I'm being unfair." She shifts responsibility for her happiness onto you, and when you fall short, she blames your lack of love. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and honest communication, not guilt trips. A woman who truly loves you will express her needs directly. She'll tell you what matters to her without making you feel like a bad person for not immediately agreeing. She respects your right to say no without questioning your commitment. But if she uses love as leverage, you'll always be one step behind. You'll be trying to earn her affection instead of sharing it. That's not partnership, it's control. When you hear, "If you loved me, you would," stop and ask, is this about love? Or is it about power? If she's tying your affection to your compliance, it's time to reassess. Real love doesn't come with a checklist or conditions. It's about choice, not obligation. If your love is constantly being tested instead of nurtured, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a trap. Get out before you lose yourself trying to meet impossible standards. Conclusion. The biggest mistake men make: ignoring the signs, hoping she'll change, making excuses for toxic behavior. But let me be real with you. A woman who doesn't respect you will never truly love you. And if you don't respect yourself enough to walk away, she'll keep taking advantage of that. If anything in this video hit home, maybe you've dealt with someone who played games, manipulated your feelings, or made you feel small. Drop a comment and share your story. You're not alone, and talking about it helps others too. Bottom line, real love isn't a game. It doesn't come with confusion, guilt, or power plays. When you see red flags, don't stick around hoping things will change. Recognize what's happening and walk away. Because the right woman won't make you question your worth. She'll help you grow in it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.